impressions. Helen said, and I hadn't been to church for months, and Helen said, come to the 6:30 church with me, Mary. It's nice, you know, it's just praising mostly. So I went. Well, I started coughing, so I got out my extra strongs and I flicked one up to give to Helen, and it popped right open and it rolled on the floor, rolled around, and I'm like this, and you know, they're all looking at me laughing, but I ignored them. Somebody said, I said, no thank you. And then Helen went up for communion, and I go up behind her, and I think, oh, there's nobody behind me. Oh, I'm not supposed to be here. Run back to my seat.
Look in the camera.
Because Helen was serving.
It's a bit difficult.
I ran back to my seat. So then we went up for communion, and then, oh, you don't want this one?
Oh, that's good. I do want this one as well.
And when we got back, we gave the peace.
Yeah.
You know, the peace of the Lord be with you. And I thought that was it. So I go marching out the door, and I didn't hear anybody behind me, no chatter. And I thought, it's not finished yet, and I ran back again. So on the way home, I suddenly felt all like drunk and silly. I was acting really silly.
You said you're pretending to trip yourself
Nothing
up.
unusual about that, but I bent in my knees and running, you know.
So what else were you doing?
And tripping over my feet and laughing like anything, all the way home. And I knew Helen was tired when we got to because she'd given us when we got to the door, the front door, but I held her arm and kept her, and I said, he's got the whole world in his hand, he's got. And I said, oh, I'm sorry, Helen. I'm sorry. She said, nothing to be sorry about. I said, I don't know why I behaved like that. She said, you had the Holy Spirit. Have I? I said, wow.
Wow.
You know, you could have knocked me over.
Yeah.
It's brilliant.
Wow, that's really amazing.
Oh, and then Helen gave a very profound sermon. And we all had to go at the front and hold hands. There's not many at the 6:30 because they've all been to the 10:30 in the morning. And hold hands and pledge our allegiance to God and to each other.
Wow.
And then they sang a little chorus. And I couldn't see the thingy, it was all written on. So I just stood there, closed my eyes and just stood there. And all of a sudden I just saw doves like dashing around. I don't know where they went, I don't know where they were coming from, but they were dashing about. I couldn't get over it, you know. And so I stayed there. I thought, well, I wonder what that is. You're kind of talking to God when you say that. I wonder what that's all about. And I felt like it was souls being saved, people being saved. Wow. Some of them still had their arms like that, then wings like that.
Cool.
Like they'd been picked up, and it was shot, they kept the wings, you know, weren't flying.
Oh my goodness.
And I was telling someone about it, and she said, oh, we're always hearing about doves.
Oh my goodness.
Lots of people talk about doves. Like not doves again.
Oh no, that's so sad.
I thought, thank you very much. I shan't tell you anymore. And one afternoon, excuse me, Paul, one afternoon I'm under the duvet having a nap. And I had this dream, and I never dream, Paul. I can't ever remember dreaming. And we were in the Abbey churchyard. Don't ask me who's we, but we were milling around in the Abbey churchyard. And all of a sudden, there was thunder, huge. We all stopped looking like that, looking around. It was, and we all stood
Well, you're in the open air?
Yeah.
Wow.
And then lightning came, but it didn't come like that. It came like in colours.
Wow.
Beautiful it was. And then a huge big roaring voice said, "This is the day of the Lord." And I woke up. I wasn't frightened. I was still pink.
Oh my goodness.
Nobody seemed to be frightened. At first, with the thunder, they stood.
Yeah.
And then they just watched. And then they all walked off when it was, after he said, "This is the day of the Lord."
Wow.
And
It's an incredible dream.
didn't seem finished, but that was finished for me because I woke up.
Yeah.
I thought, oh, it's a dream. I've had a horrible dream.
Oh, wow. Incredible.
And when your dad bought that, what do you call it? Processor.
Oh yeah. I went over there in the corner.
That one.
Yeah.
He asked Robert, would he pick it up for him?
Yeah.
And Robert went to Argos to pick it up. And it was a huge box, Paul, because everything was decorated with white stuff around it. All that was in bits. And there's loads in the cupboard. And as he was going through the door, I said, "Oh, Robert, you haven't walked all the way from town with that huge box."
Yeah.
He said, "No." He said, "I'll tell you something. I was coming out of Argos, and then a guy said to me, 'Would you like a lift?' And I said, 'Oh, yes, please.' He said, 'Hop in.' And when he got in by the driver, he said, 'You all right, Robert?' Robert said, 'How do you know me?' He said, 'I live in the same block as you.' He said, I live above you. You're 21, I'm 23. And if that wasn't God, Paul.
Yeah. Amazing.
I brought him home with my...
Wow.
Yeah.
It's incredible.
See, people, that happens to lots of people. They don't recognise it. They're not looking for miracles. Because they are kind of little miracles.
Yeah, definitely.
But I wish I had faith for big miracle. I want to see this. I don't feel like moving till this stays safe. And even the city of Bath is saying he don't want to rush anything. He's a man full of prophecy now. That's when I got that prophecy I asked you to read. And one night, another time I went down, and he said, "I don't know what's the matter, but I don't feel God's here tonight." And he wouldn't do anything. He wouldn't play the piano or anything.
Cool.
He said, "I just feel..." He was praying.
Right.
And he just stood there praying. And he suddenly kind of woke. I went to the piano and played. And it totally changed the atmosphere. I was all worried when he said, "God in here." I thought, is it my fault? Because I'm a stranger down there. But, I thought that was a bit weird, Paul.
I don't know.
Can that happen?
Well, what he means is...
He said, "I don't feel the Lord's here."
What he means is, I think, it's like God's presence is not so strong. It's like God, sometimes when there's a feeling that, when there's a lot of people that don't really want to be there and don't really want in there, and
they're just curiosity.
or just going through the mechanics of meeting, he doesn't really turn up
They're
in a special
missing out, aren't they?
Yeah.
They're missing out.
But when there are people that really want him, that tends to attract him in, and you can feel him close, like everybody can. And I think that's what he meant. I mean, God was obviously
got hold of my hands,
watching.
Paul, and she said, "Do you speak in tongues?" I said, "No, I have done, but I don't do it anymore."
So is this Stuart Keeler? Stuart? Yeah, right, yeah.
I don't do it anymore.
Yeah.
Oh, he had me up the front telling where I come from. I said, "I come from Snow Hill. I've been praying for years for Snow Hill, and I'm really pleased to see you all here." Good. Yeah. I've had God all my life, even when I didn't really want to know, when I was busy, he was still always there, helped me out of loads of little crises I had. He was there all the time. They all clapped when I finished.
Wow.
I was rattling on. They were all clapping. I thought, I would have gone up the front of the church. And then he said, who wants to pray with her? And about 4 people come up, didn't know any of them. And they prayed with me, and he got my arm, and his Chinese friend got my other arm, and they were going to bring me home.
Yeah.
I said, I've left my blazer down there. Oh, don't worry about your blazer.
Oh my goodness.
I only went down there for a curry.
Right.
Paul said that was curry night down there.
Oh, right.
So when I went in, I waited for a stop to say, has the curry all gone?
Yeah.
It was the wrong night for
Oh no. So it's
Instead
different.
of got prayed over, it was lovely, it was better than curry.
Oh, so God ambushed.
Yeah, and soon after that I went
Yeah. Oh.
down.
But you're feeling better now.
People say, wonder why you get them, Mary. And I said, well, this time I thought, well, you know, I got quite... In hospitals, I usually let myself go. But I got quite spiritual in the hospital. And I thought, well, you suffered more than this. And you know when Jesus suffered depression? When the Father left him completely on his own, how scary is that?